Hey WILDR folks, Alicia here. Welcome to this week's video. We are going to be talking about my top 6 body weight strength exercises for hiking. These are going to give you a strong core, hips, and even feet. And you don't need to have dumbbells or have extra weight to try these out. But they're still going to make the way up and the way down easier. So before we get out on the floor and I show you these, let me just remind you of a couple things. The first is to start where you're at. I'm going to show you some of these, and even though we're not adding weight, they're kind of hard. But if you start where you are and you try some of the progressions along the way, you're going to find that it helps you build the strength that it takes to have more fun out on the trail. The second thing is I strongly believe that you should be adding some weight for some of your exercises. In my 8-week pre-hike program, we give people examples of things they can use around the house if they don't own dumbbells, like cast iron pans or pots from their kitchen. But lifting that external weight is going to help you build strength that you can use as well. So check these out and then check out my video about top strength exercises using added weight for hiking. And of course, if you're looking for help to get ready for maybe a big dream hike you have on the agenda, or to get ready for a fun season outside, check out our 8-week online pre-hike program where we get to work together to get you into the best hiking shape of your life. Or if you're just looking to try out a couple workouts, we have a free 30-day Couch to Summit program that you can check out through the link in the description below. All right, let's get into it. Now, this first exercise is key to build some of the most important muscles for hiking. You're gonna come 2 to 3 of your feet from a wall or sturdy vertical surface. Push that back foot into that surface, get steady and stable. From there, we're gonna do our hip drops or hip dips. This hip, the one that has the bent knee, is going to go down towards the ground and come up slightly. You're gonna find that you feel your glute med working, as well as other abductors of the hip like your TFL. All muscles that are going to be very important to build as stabilizers for the pelvis. We want a stable pelvis, especially at the end of a long hike or when hiking on uneven surfaces, because it makes it so that we feel stable and we're not demanding wild angles of our knees to compensate for a lack of strength or flexibility through the hips. So there's a couple secrets to this exercise, but first I want you to start by just doing 4 or 5 of them and making sure you feel your glutes or your butt muscles on both sides, the standing leg and the bent leg side. You can start with that 4 or 5 number, but we want to build you up to 30 seconds to a minute, and you're going to combine them with press backs. And those press backs are going to be what really levels up this body weight exercise. We are going to be in this stable position, hips are level, and I'm simply going to press behind me. Doesn't look like I'm doing much. I'm getting a little bit of hip extension. That's the key here. Our glute med helps us extend the hips as well as abduct, which means it puts us in that strong position when we're out hiking. And we don't want to be twisting. So this is a very small movement. I like to say, keep it tiny, because then we're actually using the muscles we want to use. You'll also notice the standing leg isn't moving. There's no dipping going on with that standing leg. We want to make sure this is a glute exercise. And the best way to know if you're doing it right, you should feel your glutes working here. If balance is an issue, start with a balance aid, be that a broomstick or holding onto the wall beside you. And then as you get strong and stable, you can get rid of that balance aid. Also play with the width of your stance. I found sometimes people get set up so tight that they don't have space to do their drop without a rotation. First exercise is a great starting point for most people. This next exercise is one that you can dial up to be really, really difficult, even though we're not adding any weight. And it is quad lean backs. Now, strong quads are incredibly important for making the uphill and the downhill easier when we're hiking. Having great length and strength through them, called mobility, is going to help you be able to support the knee and feel strong the whole day. You're gonna get set up here kneeling, so make sure you have enough padding that you feel good in that kneeling position. We're gonna start level 1 by tucking our toes. Next thing, we're gonna squeeze the glutes like we did for the last one and the core. I want you to make yourself a rock solid straight line from the top of the head to your knees. From there, we are going to stay squeezed, go back just a little bit, and then come forward. You should feel those quads working both directions. On the way back, they're working eccentrically while they lengthen, and on the way forward, they're working concentrically. Now, if that feels good, we can start to go a little bit farther. If you end up breaking at the hip, so breaking that beautiful straight line on your way up, you've gone a little too far. And this one can feel scary because we are loading those quads significantly. So I want you to stay well within what you can do today to start. But as we gain length and strength, we can level these up and make them quite difficult by putting the toes flat and going significantly farther for our lean backs. For these, I always start clients in the tucked toed for the first couple of weeks just to get their body used to that load and movement before we try and push distance. And of course, you only want to go as far as you know you can confidently come back from. Now, these don't need extra load. In fact, a counterweight actually makes them easier, which is why I put them in the body weight category. Because if you're holding a weight, acts as a counterweight, and although it might be harder on your shoulders, it's going to make it easier for you to come back up. Now you'll notice both of these exercises so far have helped us build that hip strength. For one, we were working on abduction and extension. For this one, we were also working on those quads that help us stay strong through the hips. Next exercise is actually going to help us work on adduction. It's almost like we're building muscles all the way around the hip to create stability for a long day out hiking. Now, these ones have many levels, so we're gonna start easy and build up to the harder variations. You're gonna start with a kitchen chair or a workout bench, and you're gonna put your knee and your whole shin supported on that surface. From there, you're gonna go on your elbow here and keep your other knee on the ground. You can pad that if you need to. But from this position, we're going to push our knee into the bench and our whole lower leg while having a straight line from our head all the way down to our knee. You'll feel the muscles in here on the inside of your hip working. These are called Copenhagen side planks. They are going to build that adduction, and they're also going to help build up your core so you stay stable when you're out hiking. I have had clients before that struggle with the shoulder position, and so you can certainly do this with full lying on the ground. You're still gonna be pressing that knee into the ground, ultimately getting to the point where you lift your hip fully off the ground. But if your shoulder is good for this one, then we can progress this bad boy. To start off with, instead of having that lower leg down on the ground supporting, we're gonna lift it up and off. We can do this as reps, or we can hold that top position. No joke, you will feel this one quickly, and it's so good. We wanna make sure that we're not rotating the hips towards the ceiling, because that's going around using our adductors. So that's why, again, we're gonna squeeze the butt here to get a straight line from knee to shoulder. To make this one harder, put that foot on the bench instead. Now, if we're not ready for this quite yet, we're going to feel a pull through the inside of the knee, and we do not want that. So if you feel that, that's your sign that we're not quite there yet, but we could get used to this position by having that other foot down on the ground and just supporting it so there's not as much weight through the top foot. Once you feel good to go, you can lift that bottom foot off the ground and either hold that position or start to lift the foot and actively move through those reps. We want to start with a position that we can hold for 20 to 30 seconds and build up to a minute on each side for these. Before we go on, I don't want to be rude, so let me introduce myself. My name is Alicia Williams. I own WILDR Fitness. I am in the Southern Alberta Rockies, and I love training people for outdoor adventures of all kinds. I believe that fitness is your capacity to interact with the world around you and squeeze more joy out of life. So if you're the kind of person who wants to spend time in the gym towards a goal outside of the gym, then subscribe and let's look at the next exercise. Because the next exercise is quite similar, but is so often overlooked. It's one of the big three for the exercises that help us reduce the likelihood or incidence of back pain. And that's because it builds muscles that help us stabilize the spine. And that is the classic, beautiful, simple side plank. So this is different because we don't have that leg up, and so we're not using the adductors as much, but you will feel more work through the side of your core that's closest to the ground. Now, I often with these see people leaning forward like this. You're going around the workout, or leaning up towards the ceiling. You're going around the exercise. So let's get shoulders stacked, core tight. Think of yourself as in between two planes of glass. If that's too hard to start, we can always begin in this position. If you can feel that lower core, I'd rather you do the easier version of the exercise well than try and struggle and go around the exercise to do the harder variation. Now, if you know me, you know that I think we should build the individual muscles we need for hiking, but then we should use those muscles in a way that's similar to how we'll use them out on the trail in order to just pattern that movement for when we're out hiking. But to work the obliques here, in a standing position, we often add load. So the body weight way to build those muscles is in that side plank. This final exercise has been a huge breakthrough exercise for so many of my clients in my 8-week online hike program. So I'm excited to share it with you, but let's talk a little bit about that hike program before we go on. I am very proud of it because it has helped people hike TMB, West Coast Trail, hikes all over the world, from Costa Rica up to the northern part of Canada. The secret sauce is two things. First, we work together. So we start with a movement assessment so I can see how you're moving and customize the program for you. Second thing is we talk about the hikes you're working towards this summer, be them local or a giant trip. And then I give you a checklist of key build-up challenges to do before your dream hike or before the biggest hike of your hiking season. Because properly programming those steps along the way to build the components of what make up your dream hike or hiking season, be that vert, distance, surface, that is what makes the difference in feeling ready and being ready structurally for the hikes you're gonna go on. Now let's talk about foot shortening. Your feet are absolutely amazing. Yes, yours. They have 22 joints. They have over 30 muscles. There's muscles that originate outside the foot and run through them. There's muscles that are just intrinsically in your foot. We always forget about the feet. We throw them into hiking shoes and just go hiking. But in actuality, if we have strong, mobile feet, we have an incredible base of support for having every joint above that foot work well when we're hiking. So today I'm going to show you something called foot shorteners. And you might find when you first try these, they are hard to do and you have no movement happening at all. But you need to stick with it. Like any kind of fitness, it's not about the intensity of any one workout, it's about the consistency of coming back to these movements and these muscles day after day that's going to help you make a change. So to do our foot shorteners, it can help to start with a credit card or even a piece of cloth. And what we want to do is place that underneath the ball of your foot to big toe. You're first going to practice spreading your toes apart and pressing them flatly into the ground. If we see our knuckles come up, we're not doing this one right. So flatly pressing, it's like you're trying to do this with your toes. If you try and pull the card out, it should not come out. From there, I want you to try and lift your arch, squeezing the ball of your foot closer to your heel. You can do one side or two. You're gonna find, believe it or not, that you feel muscles working all the way up the back of your leg and even into your glutes when you do this exercise, but we're also working the intrinsic muscles in the foot for this one. Now, all of these exercises and more are in our 8-week pre-hike program, and you can check it out through the link in the description below. If you want to dip your toe, see what we're about, a lot of clients start with our 30-day free Couch to Summit program. I have a couple follow-along videos that echo what you see in the full-on paid hike program, and you have a calendar to get you started in that journey to hiking. So you can check that out through the link in the description as well. A lot of these exercises really also help reduce the likelihood or frequency of knee pain when hiking. And I've been thinking about doing a full video on that. So if you're interested in that, pop a comment down below to let me know that you want to see it. And I hope you have a wilder day.